Alrighty, we are so back. Welcome to a 4-on-4 team draft. I got the troops together to do a 4-on-4 even with Cube on Magic Online. It was like pulling teeth, but you know what? Everyone loves a team draft, and we've got myself, Dan, Mac the Knife, and Alpha Frog drafting, of course. Alpha Frog's Cube, battling against Abe Corrigan, Masapo, the Monkey Man, the Mandrill Man, Slacks, and Theo. So a great squad in a pretty strong pack. I'm getting passed to by Slacks. Always Slacks passing to me, passing to Theo. And I've opened Mana Vault, Time Twister, and Fable as the three cards I'd be looking at. Honestly, I think you could take any of these cards. I'm probably going to take Mana Vault. It's colorless. Can't really go wrong taking mana. And I just think all three of those are close, but I'm going to take Mana Vault. I like the mana boost. It goes well in a lot of different strategies. So, unfortunately, having to pass... Where'd you go, Mana Vault? Get back in here. Let's not do two rows. Both Time Twister and Fable, which are great cards. Okay, so next pack. So, pretty big step down. There's Lurrus. Lurrus is a very good card, and there's Vampiric Tutor. It's really going to be one of those two, and I don't really love this as a second pick. It's fine, I guess. So what else is there in the pack? Might we wheel this Blood Tithe Harvester? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I take Lurrus. Yeah, there's a chance, but my guess is it doesn't wheel and maybe one of these talismans does instead. I'm just debating between Lurrus and Vamp because I find them both to be pretty strong. I really think if you take Lurrus early, it can do some crazy stuff. So I'm going to take Lurrus, and then I'm probably going to take Prismatic Vista, though Palace Jailer is really, really good. So is Pest Infestation. Those are both pretty messed up cards. There's also Ponder. Actually, I think I've got to take Pest Infestation. I just think this card is really strong, and there's a lot of decks that just have a really hard time with it. All right. I do like Prismatic Vista and Palace Jailer. Pest Infestation keeps the Lurrus stream alive, which I like. Now I can take Scalding Tarn probably. I do like Shelldock, but fetch lands are really good, especially if I'm trying to play Pest Infestation and Lurrus. Not that I'm locked into playing Lurrus, but I would like to play it. There's a Pentide Prism too, which is a good card, but I think fetch land is better. So it's funny because Mana Vault and Lurrus kind of aren't a combo, but I still think they work nicely enough together. Oh, now I can take Hexdrinker. Hexdrinker is just really good. It might be the best card in this pack. Oliphant probably second. And Hexdrinker works with Mana Vault nicely. The reason Lurrus and Mana Vault are kind of not a combo is because I'm not going to have expensive permanents in my deck, but you could still have expensive spells like Pest Infestation, for example. And it's a good place to put Hexdrinker mana. So how else could this draft have unfolded? I guess I could have taken Fable into Vamp into Palace Jailer. Yeah, I don't know that I'm that worried. Also, I feel like I haven't passed a lot of other good white cards or anything, so I'm not too worried about passing the Palace Jailer. All right, this pack, there's Utopia Sprawl, there's Brainstorm. I like Brainstorm with Scalding Tarn a lot. I don't like locking myself into that many forests this early for Utopia Sprawl, so I'm just going to take Brainstorm. Firebolt's also fine, but I think Brainstorm is great. And then now, we've got Expressive Iteration, Scrapwork Mutt. Croxa's kind of interesting. It works with Lurrus in that you can just keep recasting Croxa, but you also kind of fights against Lurrus because you have to... If you want to escape Croxa, it's eating other potentially Lurrusable things. Kind of weird. I think I might just take Iteration. Well, the problem with Iteration is it really puts me into like 4 colors. I could also take Black-Green Talisman, because that can help cast Lurrus and Hexdrinker and Pest Infestation. Yeah, why don't I just do that? Just take that. Oh, nice. Okay, so this pack has Night's Whisper, Savannah, Lotus Field are all pretty interesting. Lotus Field is interesting, but I don't think I'm going to take Mana Untappers. So I think maybe I just take the Night's Whisper. Night's Whisper is awesome. I basically never really regret taking Night's Whisper when I'm drafting like a base black deck. And then now I could take Stern Scolding. I could just be like Sultai here, is kind of what I'm leaning into. And I think Stern Scolding works very nicely. Basically, the strategy you want with Lurrus, oh, and Thirst came back? Yeah, I'll take that too, is you want a bunch of cheap interaction and removal spells, and then Lurrus as a way to get continuously put creatures into play. I'll take Taiga, because this turns Tarn into a blue-green land, and opens the door for me to splash red too. Oh, wow. Late Prismatic, or Pented Prism. Don't care about Trinket Mage or Prismatic Ending. This pack started out a little rocky just because Mana Vault, Pest Infestation, Hex Drinker didn't all fit together very nicely with Lurrus, but these picks have gone a long way. I'll take Raphelos, though I'm not that likely to want to play Raphelos in this deck. I do think it's possible I might, and I don't care about Dragon Engine or Heartbeat. Basically, picking up those good 3 blue cards, and then this fetch land, and then 2 mana-fixing artifacts has helped nicely. All right, now I will take Utopia Sprawl. That's actually the time I want to take it. Oh, and a black-green land? Okay, wow. This has actually kind of gone great. Let's see if Pack 2 can deliver also. All right, what do we got? Oh, Mox Jet? Yes, yes, indeed. All right, we'll be taking that. Passing, sadly, a library and a bunch of fetch lands, but let's see, assume those 4 lands go. Tali definitely goes. Grave Titan probably goes. Yeah, we're not going to get anything too exciting back, though. We will 100% get Deadly Dispute back, and Deadly Dispute with a tapped Mana Vault or a used-up Pentet Prism? That's kind of nice, right? All right, Slam Mox Jet, and followed up with a disappointing pack where the best card in the pack is Fury, and I am not in a position to play that. All right. Because I do think at this point, Lurrus Companion is awesome here. So now I have to decide, do I want to take Noble Hierarch, Retrofitter Foundry? I guess Thopter Foundry, but I don't think I want to take that. I kind of like Retrofitter because that gives me a mana sink. I generate kind of a lot of mana. It's a powerful colorless card as opposed to a green card, which I know I'm not passing to a green drafter. In fact, there might not be very many. I got Raphelos and Utopia Sprawl basically last. I don't think I want to take Grim Monolith here. And I would really love to wheel Haywire Might, and I think there's a pretty good chance I do no matter what I take here. Yeah, let's go with Retrofitter. And oh, definitely have to take Karakas. Karakas with Lurrus is just awesome as a way to protect it. Could work with Raphelos if I end up going that direction. I can't take Jace or Narset or Liliana. Not that I was really in a hurry to take those either. There's also K-Command, which I have the mana for with Taiga and Scalding Tarn. And K-Command is also awesome with Lurrus, but I think Karakas is kind of a busted card. So happy to take Karakas. Let me spread this out a little more. So I've got Karakas and Peatland as my other lands. And oh, probably got a Zagoth Triumph here. Yeah, over Delighted Halfling and Botanical Sanctum. Because Zagoth Triumph makes Scalding Tarn into the perfect fetch land for me. So I will take that. And yeah, if Delighted Halfling or Botanical Sanctum comes back, I'll be pretty happy about it, but I'm not worried too much. Okay, well, starting out with Mox Jet, picking up 2 really powerful lands and a Retrofitter makes me pretty happy. As usual, I would take Tolarian Academy if it was offered, but I would also take Gaia's Cradle. I actually have kind of an out to both of those, which is pretty cool. And I like a lot of what this deck's got going so far. Ooh, this is a nice pickup. And by this, I mean Marsh Flats. Marsh Flats is a 5-color land. No, I guess it doesn't get red right now. Not that that's even an issue. But yeah, we're going to have to take Marsh Flats. I love Dark Confidant. In fact, it would be perfect in this deck. But between Dark Confidant and Vindicate, 2 cards which I would consider playing. Because at this point, I'm thinking I could play all 5 colors if I wanted to. I'd be happy with any of those, but I'm certainly not going to take them over Marsh Flats. And oh, nice. Memory Lapse is the perfect card for this kind of deck. Take Memory Lapse over Lana Rolls, which I'm not even really that stoked about. And Evolved Sleeper, which I can probably get back. Yeah, easy Memory Lapse here. And probably just want Watery Grave. Sakura Tribe Elder is technically a combo with Lurrus, though I'm not really that worried about that. Spara's Headquarters is interesting, but I think just an untapped blue-black land sounds so much better to me. So my mana base just got actually playable, which is awesome. Here, there's Cultivator Colossus and Mightstone and Weakstone. Yeah, I'm not playing any of those. I don't think I want to take Boseiju here. It's fine, but I already have Pest Infestation. It's just okay. I'm debating between Celestial Colonnade and Scrubland. I like Scrubland, but I don't need it for any fetch land purposes. right? Marsh Flats already is white-black by definition. I kind of like Colonnade because Colonnade just ends games. It's a brick house. Colonnade is really good. Okay, so it's funny. Every card I've drafted so far I might consider playing, though I think realistically Rofellos can go. Because right now, especially if I don't end up playing this Utopia Sprawl, Rofellos is looking kind of suspect. I just have the 2 green cards. Okay, I'm mostly blue-black. Well, there's blue-black Talisman, which is pretty good. There's also that Deadly Dispute, which isn't going to there's not enough cards left for it to wheel. Will I actually play Deadly Dispute here? Yeah, you know what? I think between Mana Vault and Pentad Prism, Pest Infestation tokens, it actually sounds kind of reasonable. Oh wow, Noble wheeled, so did Haywire Might, so did Thopter Foundry. So all the cards I was considering taking wheeled. I'm just deciding, and there's also even a Plateau, which is also reasonable. Honestly, I should just take Haywire Might. It's really good with Lurrus, and it's not like it's a bad card to begin with. I don't think I need the Noble. I actually have kind of a lot of acceleration. I would love to Thopter Foundry. Maybe I just do that. You know what? I'm going to keep the Thopter Foundry dream alive. Last time I had the Thopter Foundry combo, it was amazing. This is actually an interesting pick too, because Besiege the Mirror is kind of compelling. Feels like there's a lot if I get like the other half of the Thopter combo. On the other hand, Cabal Ritual is kind of nice with Lurrus. I think I'll take Beseech, but it is pretty close. All right, well, Delighted Halfling makes me feel good about not taking that Noble, because maybe I will end up playing green, who knows. And then Vindicate Wield, sure, I'll take that. Sure, I'll take a Freelander Elves as well. And a Condemn, which is actually a decent sideboard card. All right, so that was a really good pack also. All right, pack 3, Lotus time? No Lotus, but there's some really good cards here. Okay. Oh, wow. I didn't even see the Bowmaster. Well, the Bowmaster is going to be the card I take because I think it's the best card between Force of Will, Ragavan, and Bowmasters. This is a strong pack. There's also a Fractured Identity, a Fallen Shinobi, Skyclave, Preordain, Time Warp. So if I take Bowmasters, Force, Ragavan, Fractured, 100% to go. Preordain also. That means someone has to take Skyclave, Time Warp, Fallen Shinobi, Persist, and I may get back one of those. I guess I would like to get back Time Warp of the realistic options, but I'm pretty happy first picking a Bowmasters here. There's Underworld Breach. Interesting. I don't have Brain Freeze, but Underworld Breach is always a card I look at. This, especially since Underworld Breach Lurrus is a pretty nice little combo. I could also take from the Catacombs, but I don't have any big creatures to animate. There's also Candelabra, Lotus Veil, but I didn't take the Lotus Field. There's also Lotus Petal. Haven't seen Brain Freeze. What would Breach do for me here? There's ways to do stuff with it, but it's not necessarily going to be great. The question is, what would I take if I wasn't taking Breach? Lotus Petal? Let's just take the Breach. Just take a flyer. Maybe we get a Brain Freeze. If we don't, that's fine too. Now I'll probably take JVP to replay Pest Infestation, Deadly Dispute, Night's Whisper, Vindicate, Thirst. Yeah, there's a bunch of cards I want to replay. And over Dark Slick Shores, seems reasonable to me. All right, there's a Verdant Catacombs. I'm going to take that over Reprieve, Path, Thieving Skydiver, Fairy Mastermind. Like whichever of those cards come back, I'll be happy. Also, by taking this Catacomb, now I can definitely play these green 1-drops if I want to. But, so here's what I'm looking for. Brain Freeze, Sword of the Meek, Cradle or Academy, though I don't really think that's going to happen. Oh, and there's a Time Vault. Huh. I always struggle when I get a pick 3 Time Vault, or pack 3 Time Vault, because it's like, what is the person passing to me really going to pass me a key? I didn't have key. It's really the only card. It's Manifold Key. I actually might take it though, because I don't need to take a land. I feel like my mana base is actually great. I have 3 fetch lands. Natural doesn't do anything for me. Echo Vians really doesn't do much for me. I don't even really have a way to discard it. Yeah, I'll take the Time Vault. It's fine. I'll kind of bite the bullet too. It just is safer for my team to do that. Ooh, Underground Sea. Underground Sea is pretty tempting. There's also a Fire Covenant, but I think I'd rather just take Underground Sea, have great mana. That's pack 6. So I'm not going to get anything that combos with Time Vault, but that's a spot where like the risk reward just isn't worth it. Like what if the Theo randomly took a Manifold Key in pack 2 and I passed him a Time Vault? That would just be such a disaster. I think, oh, I guess Echo Vians would have been good with Orcish Bowmasters. That much is true. But I still don't really have a way to discard it. All right, pick 7. So our Thopter Foundry is looking bad. I'm going to take that out. I will put a Lotus Cobra in, though. I think at this point I should just play the green. And Cobra looks great. Oh, man. Another fetch land. There's also a Birds of Paradise. And Birds is also pretty solid. Flooded Strand. Yeah, I mean, Flooded Strand is good. Really sad to not complete any of my combos here. I had like a bunch of really awesome potential combos. Sword of the Meek, Brain Freeze, Manifold Key. Like any of them would just really make this deck pop off. I think this deck's pretty solid. I guess I had Jace to discard Echo Vians. I mean, I like Bird a lot, but I already have a bunch of other dorks. Let's just take the fetch land and not pass a Bird. All right, Preordain came back. I'm happy enough taking that. I like Turok as well, but I think Preordain's just so good. Overgrown Tomb's got to be great for me here, right? I don't have a black-green untapped fetch. Yeah. Pass up on Jetmir's Garden and Frantic Search. Green Sun Zenith? No, not good. Crop Rotation? Also no. I'm not going to play Jiraga Tree Speaker. Seems almost impossible that Theo's playing green. Yeah, I guess I'll just take Crop Rotation. Why not? Oh, none of the cards I wanted wheeled here. I'll just take the Zerta. I'll hate Grist, which I unfortunately can't play. Makeshift Mannequin, I guess I could technically play, but yeah, I think that's more likely that I should hate that. All right, so not playing the Breach, not playing the Beseech. There's Devoted Druid. All right, I've got a bunch of pretty sad combos in my sideboard, but I kind of like what's going on here. Let's build this deck real quick. Okay. All right, so here's some cards that might stand out. You might think, but wait, didn't we miss on Sword of the Meek and Brain Freeze? The answer is yes, yes to both. But here's what I'm thinking. I have Lurrus as my companion. This is 17 lands plus a Mox, a Talisman, a Pentad Prism, a Mana Vault, and some Dorks. Here's why I think I am going to play Thopter Foundry and Breach. I wanted to play a few more spells. I think Devoted Druid looks too bad here. Thopter Foundry with Lurrus lets you just recur whatever your cheapest artifact is every turn, like Mana Vault actually generates mana to make tokens. And this makes Thopters, which Retrofitter can turn into 4/4s immediately. So it's a little bit of a combo there. Breach is just, this deck has no Time Twisters or anything like that, has a bunch of fetch lands, 4 fetches. It's going to fill up the graveyard and I can cast Breach as like, play 2 cards out of my graveyard, something like that. So obviously this deck, had it seen a Manifold Key, a Brain Freeze, or a Sword of the Meek, would have gotten significantly better. I do think this deck's got some good stuff going for it, including really good mana. So we'll see how this works. My teammates' decks look pretty sweet. So this is Mac on red-blue with like Force of Will and Mystic Confluence, Chrome Mox, Ancestral Recall, Burn Spells, GTA Prismari Command, Splash for Minsc Boo, and then also Twin Exarch. I like this. Very good deck. Classic blue-red aggro. Frogs on Time Walk, Eternal Witness, Sail into the West, Time Warp, Echo of Eons, Fast Bond Exploration. This is like my dream deck. I love decks like this. And Wheel of Fortune, Time Twister. This deck looks awesome. If Frog draws Fast Bond, he's going to win a lot. He's also got my Brain Freeze. And then our last teammate, Dan, has a white-black aggro deck that has Comet and Fourth Eater Lingus on the splash with Solitude, the One Ring, some recurring value, him, and actually a decent amount of non-basics with multiple fetches, Triumph, and all that. So I think we have pretty good decks. I'm excited to see how this goes. Let's get to round 1. All right, welcome to round 1. Battling against Slacks here. And, yep, I am Lurrusing. What do you got? Ooh, this is a nice little hand. All right, I will keep this. Turn 1, Retrofitter. Turn 2, Bowmasters or Night's Whisper or Activate Retrofitter, kind of depending on what's going on, though obviously Bowmasters is the most likely. And then turn 3, Pest Infestation. Okay. Don't like seeing a Mox, but on the other hand, Slax doesn't have a turn 1 play. There's not that many end of turn plays you can make with the mana, so maybe... Oh, it looks like we do have a turn 1 play. It's Unmarked Grave. Okay, that's a little scary. If you get like an Archon or something, I'm not loving it. Faithless Looting. All right, well, that's kind of a sign of weakness. Oh, classic Utopia Sprawls here. Just, I drew one of my very few green non-forest sources. So I guess Slax is going to go Liliana, sure. I'm going to discard Utopia Sprawl here, I think. Discards Oliphant, all right. Watery Grave and Pay the Life. I really hope he's got Flashback Faithless Looting as his plan. That would be awesome. I might +1 Liliana first, in which case I'm going to discard Hex Drinker. All right. So now let's go Orcish Bowmasters and ping that Liliana a bunch. Is my plan here. You draw 2, I get 2 more pings. I'm going to ping Liliana down to 1 so I don't get -2'd, and then we are going to probably just take over the game from there. Orcish Bowmaster is a hell of a card. You can +1 Liliana if you want. I have a bunch of cards in my hand. Sure. Discard Hex Drinker. I've got a lot of ways to spend my mana. Oh, Fury's a little frightening. All right, let's attack Liliana, attack Slax. There's not much you can do for a single swamp. I guess you could have Dismember, but he would have just dismembered the Bowmasters. Now I'm going to Pest Infestation the Mox, I think. Might stop him from doing something. And this way now when he Furies, he can already kill those 2 with Fury if he reanimates it, so I'm not really that worried about it. It's not like I'm putting extra creatures in harm's way. If I draw an Underworld Breach next turn, I'm going to be really annoyed that that could have just been another land. Collective Brutality, kill that and take my Night's Whisper, sure. All right, no cards in hand. I have no cards in hand. Let's attack for 5 and then put Lurrus into hand, and we've got some good options from there. Next turn I can go Lurrus Utopia Sprawl or Lurrus Hex Drinker. Oh, Blood Tithe Harvester, okay. Interesting. Let's draw. There's the breach. Let's attack. My guess is Jesse's not going to block here because keeping that in play makes it so Lurrus is a liability. Oh, okay, nice. I like that. So let's go Lurrus. And then let's cast Utopia Sprawl. I think that's actually the first card I want to cast here. And I'm going to name Red because I've got Underworld Breach. He's got 1 turn to kill Lurrus, or this becomes just a massacre here. If he draws an animate, can animate Fury. That's obviously pretty awesome. I don't think I even need... I think I'm just going to go... Actually, I'm going to go Hex Drinker here. Hex Drinker. Hex Drinker. The reason I'm doing Hex Drinker instead of getting the Orcish Bowmasters back is I'm worried about Fury. And I can actually brainstorm. Okay, let's put back Swamp and Pentad Prism, play Tarn, crack Tarn, and let's just get, I guess we'll get Taiga and pump the Hex Drinker again. I just have nothing better to do with my mana. All right, and now I think the combination of Bowmasters and Pest Infestation did some pretty good work there. Honestly, it was mostly just Bowmasters. Bowmasters basically one-shotted Jesse this game, killed his Liliana, and did a bunch of damage, put him in a really tough spot. Okay, playing against Animates. I don't have a sideboard. What am I even looking at? I do have a sideboard. It's Condemn. Against some decks, I might bring in Condemn. I don't think I want it against Rakdos Reanimator. I mean, maybe I can. The problem is condemning after they've reanimated then attacked you doesn't usually work out great. All right, let's Companion Lurrus. Yeah, Doctor Foundry looks, you know, like it could be okay this game. We'll see. Mox is pretty nice. Let's go Taiga, Mox. I'm actually going to play Talisman here. I could play Cobra, but I feel like Talisman is a little better because next turn I can play Cobra without playing a land and then immediately get mana from it. And I'm not opened up to sorcery speed removal, like Collective Brutality, for example. Demonic Tutor. That's a little scary. Let's see what we can do here. Next turn, I mean, I have a lot of mana. Drawing that Mox was pretty nice. Next turn, I might just go Cobra, land, play Thopter Foundry, and maybe sack a Talisman to the Thopter Foundry, or sack a Mox, actually, because then if I Lurrus, I can replay the Mox. Or maybe I just go Cobra, land, put Lurrus into my hand. We'll see what I draw here. Oh, I guess... Yeah, I'll play both. That's fine. He has Liliana. It just seems like a pretty bad idea to do otherwise. Let's go pay the life and a green. Yeah, that works. Hex Drinker. And I'm just going to play the Thopter Foundry. I hope I don't get Furied this turn, but now I'm kind of protected from hand disruption. And next turn I've got pretty big Hex Drinker coming. If he Liliana -2s, that doesn't matter. And then I can also, I have enough mana next turn to play a land and bring back Lurrus and make Hex Drinker a 3, assuming it still lives. Oh, Flash into Trumpeting Carnosaur. It's not that strong, honestly. Hit Thief of Sanity? Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Oh. Okay, I don't like that he also has, looks like Bone Shards maybe to kill the Hex Drinker. Or Fatal Push to kill the Lotus Cobra. That's what he's scared of. Let's go Hex Drinker, Hex Drinker, Hex Drinker. Play the Overgrown Tomb. Attack for 4. Pass. I'm actually just gonna double block the Thief of Sanity with Thopter Foundry tokens here. Okay, Thopter Foundry, ping 1, sack Mox Jet. Ping 1, sack Thopter Foundry. And double block here. I mean, not the highest value play, but it worked out. I'm not getting hit by Thief of Sanity, I'll tell you that much. Okay, Bitter Reunion, sure. Discarding Unmarked Grave, drawing 2. Next turn, I mean, it's actually tricky. I guess I don't go for, well, we'll see what he plays, but I probably don't go to level up Hex Drinker a bunch. I just don't like doing that against someone who's got Liliana the Veil in their deck. I don't know, it makes me, oh, we're going to Life Death Carnosaur and hit Faithless Looting. Never mind, we're going to have to go for it now. This, obviously, you know, Jesse having a Trumpeting Carnosaur in play completely changes things. Now, also he paid 6 life to death. So now if I make this into a 6/6 pro everything, then I can kind of one-shot. I could also play Lurrus. Or I could play Jace. No, I think we just go for it. It just puts him to having Liliana or bust, and I don't know, that seems fine to me. There's really not much else. I mean, or another Edict, but I feel like going the Jace route is just asking for trouble. All right, well, he's got something, because Jesse wouldn't just attack and then... Oh, he's going to Shinobi me? He doesn't have that much, actually. All right. I go to 12. You played Night's Whisper and Caracas. That will not do it. Hex Drinker goes coast to coast here, and we got ourselves a dub with a somewhat janky Lurrus deck. You love to see it. All right, we're bringing you a live look in here that's pretty funny. Here's the combo that's going on. Alpha Frog is using Displacer Kitten Treachery, and it's not his own Displacer Kitten. He Treachery Displacer Kitten, played Fast Spawn, used Displacer Kitten to flicker Treachery, which lets him take the Displacer Kitten again, and untaps 5 lands. And now he's got Fast Bond and Exploration out and is tapping 1,000,000 mana. He's got a Time Twister that he can still play here, by the way, thanks to Escape to the Wilds. And now he's going to go Time Warp, Flicker Treachery. Your kitten goes back momentarily, not even enough to do anything. Treachery goes back on the kitten, untaps 5 land. Oh, look at that. 0 mana, take an extra turn. Time Walk is +3 mana, take an extra turn. And we haven't even gotten to the Time Twister yet. Oh, first we're going to go Feywild Caretaker, take the initiative, get a land, get a 1/1. Wow, get a 1 end of turn. And then play a land. Looks like we're playing, yeah, the Mandrill Man has a Mystic Forge Mishra's Workshop deck. Has 5 mana to cast Time Twister as the last card here. And then that Time Twister is going to flicker the Treachery. Could actually start flickering Feywild Caretaker at some point, but now he's going to attach Treachery back on Displacer Kitten, untap 5 lands. So I would say casting Time Twister here with about 1,000,000 mana already. Every non-creature spell you play generates 5 mana or takes you up the initiative ladder. And Alpha Frog has an extra turn floating. So we got some nice red zone action here. Oh, plus the actual Time Walk. And now we're just going to start flickering the Feywild Caretaker, getting the initiative again. Probably Lost Welling. It depends. The problem is if you go to the Forge and put 2 +1/+1 counters, you're just going to flicker the Caretaker again, so you're losing the counters. But on the other hand, you still might want to make your opponent lose 5 life by going into the trap area. Initiative is one hell of a mechanic. So, I mean, obviously I like this because my teammate's winning, but I also just enjoy the Fast Bond, Treachery, opponent's Displacer Kitten, all of that. All right, looks like we're putting the counters on Displacer Kitten, and we're just going to blink Feywild Caretaker a bunch. I guess you don't have to blink. Well, no, you're going to blink the Treachery anyway. You're not blinking the kitten. Sure. So 2 +1/+1 counters there. Yeah, Manderman has Psy also. That's kind of cool. Time Walk and 6 cards left plus 1,000,000 mana. 6 spells played here already. Consider. Blink Feywild Caretaker. Goes into the trap room. You take 5. 2 extra turns currently lined up for Alpha Frog here. And then consider, again, Frog could have all, wow, he binged Sheldock Isle. That's how much he's winning here. Because it doesn't really matter. Is this another Time Warp? Yep, another Time Warp. 3 extra turns built up here. Flickering the Feywild Caretaker again. No, now it's the Treachery. I guess we needed a little mana bump here. Untap 5 lands. And then get a bunch of mana here. And cast Talisman. Now we're back to flickering Treachery again. Treachery, take the Displacer Kitten, untap 5 lands. Now we're back to, 11 mana. And there's more coming because he's untapping lands. Tireless Tracker. Play a land. So now any land draws you a card. Any spell gives you the initiative or 5 mana. Okay, Tracker going down to 8. And then lastly, Echo of Mandrill Man just is ready is here to, he came to game. But he's letting Frog do all the stuff. I would have conceded a long time ago. I don't have the heart. But, good for the Mandrill here. Storm count of 11. I mean, Frog does have a Brain Freeze in his deck, so at some point he could just cast a Brain Freeze as well and just end things. Courser of Crufix. Narset on top. Oh, if he finds, well, not finds, he has the Narset and then has an Echo, just has it all kind of lined up. I guess the one thing Frog has to kind of watch out for is every time he casts one of these Time Twisters, he's putting like 3 or 4 permanents into play, if not more. Which means subsequent Time Twisters are going to have less and less cards to draw from. But I don't think that's that big of a deal because he's going to have enough cards left to win the game. Because at some point, he can also finish off by treacherying like the Germ token. He's got a bunch of turns stacked up right now. So it's going to be enough to pretty easily just attack for lethal with Feywild, Caretaker, Tireless Tracker. I don't know, probably Displacer Kitten still, I guess, if you put the 2+1/+1 counters on the Displacer Kitten here. Ponder's happening, we're untapping lands. And Froggerto has 4 clues stacked up over here, so it's just like impossible to run out of cards. We know Narset's on top. I'm sure he's going to want to cast Narset here. Just to put the final nail in the coffin, you Narset, you cast Narset, you Echo of Eons, Mandrill goes to no cards. There's even a Wheel of Fortune there, but you kind of don't want to cast Wheel of Fortune just because you would put you down to 6 cards in deck, though I guess you could just then Echo afterwards. It's all kind of the same. Here goes Narset. -2 on Narset, or just flashback Echo right away? I guess we'll find out. Oh, we're casting Consider again. Now blinking the Caretaker. Going to Throne of the Dead 3. Revealing Time Twister, Time Warp, and getting a Thieving Skydiver here. Very nice, very nice. And I think now we have any number of ways to win. But it is safest to Echo to put Mandrill down to 0 cards, just in case. You know, there's no reason not to. Oh, I guess we're going to Eternal Witness first, sure. Get back the Echo of Eons, and then just hard cast Echo of Eons. All right, that was enough for the Mandrill, and that was our red zone for the round. Frog's deck is so cool. All right, time to battle against Abe here. I'm going to keep, and I'm playing against White Weenie. I think I have to lead. I think I lead on. Oh man, leading on Zagoth Triumph's tough. So here's my dilemma: is I have Stern Scolding. Obviously, would like to counter something with that, but playing Island is pretty costly. Like, how many 1-mana plays? He does have a Mox in his deck and a Figure of Destiny. It feels like playing a tap land on turn 1. If I was on the draw, I wouldn't consider it. I would just play it on tap land. Yeah, if I don't cast Stern Scolding on 1, I'm still not going to want to Brainstorm on turn 1. So playing a turn 1 tap land is, or not playing a turn 1 tap land is pretty costly. But if he goes Land Mox 2-drop, I'm going to feel pretty dumb. Here's the thing, though. Stern Scolding is going to have a target. I'm just going to play this, and I'm going to run the risk of him playing a 1-drop that I really want to counter. Yeah, Figure's okay. And then turn 2. Oh, I drew that. Okay, that also changes my mind. Now I think I just go Hex Drinker Go, because that offers a trade here. And then turn 3, if I don't use Stern Scolding here, I could Brainstorm, or I could maybe Pest Infestation. We'll see. I'm gonna happily block here. I'm playing a Lurrus deck. Trading off creatures is a pretty good deal for me. I mean, it's a good deal for him too, obviously, because this could just be a 4/4 in a second here. Regal Bunnicorn. I think I'm gonna let that one go, assuming I can maybe counter next turn. And now the question is, do I play a Flooded Strand or do I play Colonnade? I think I still just like playing my tap lands. Saying go. I could still counter Adeline with Stern Scolding, which is pretty nice. There's just not that many creatures that are 3/3s. There's like a lot of 3/1s. Oh, you're attacking for 1, so I'm really glad I didn't counter that now. No other plays. Okay, let's start with Brainstorm. Finally, we can fire it off. I think Containment Priest might be coming up here. I don't know. Let's put back Talisman and a fetch land. I think I want to get an Overgrown Tomb. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to keep the Deadly Dispute. I actually think that one's going to be pretty good. Crack my fetch. Actually, let's just get Underground Sea. Underground Sea. Overgrown Tomb. Let's just go Underground Sea. And then let's just cast a Delighted Halfling here. And then cast a Preordain. I guess I could have cast it the other way. All right, don't want the land. I think Retrofitter. No, I'll put that on the bottom, actually. Nice. We'll see. This actually, jokes aside, okay, so there's a Containment Priest. Yeah, I'll Stern Scolding that. That's fine. Because it also keeps the Bunnicorn small. And Abe was stuck on 2 lands, so there's not that many other plays he can make. Obviously, if he goes land, Adeline, I'll kind of wish I had done it the other way. I think Underworld Breach, despite it being like a little, a little far off in terms of casting, looks pretty good here. Okay, I could Pest Infestation. I think I'm just going to put Lurrus into my hand. And then I think I'm just going to pass the turn here. Next turn, I'll play Lurrus plus Hex Drinker. I also kind of like keeping Deadly Dispute up so that if Lurrus does get targeted by an exile effect, I can sack it, put it in my graveyard, and then I'll have a treasure to play this Breach with. Look, if I can play 2 spells off Breach, I think it's actually fine. Also, Breach Lurrus is a kind of nice combo where at some point later in the game, sometimes I'll just like Lurrus back Breach and play a spell or 2. Look, this card is obviously busted with Brain Freeze, Lion's Eye, and decks like that, but you don't need to play 7 spells off this card for it to be good. It's a 2-mana card. If I cast that and cast 2 spells, then I spent 2 mana to get 2 good spells out of my graveyard. I don't really have too much of a problem with that. Palantir, oh, that is perfection, because I have a way to blow that up. Yeah, I'm going to take it, I think. That's fine. Okay, let's go ahead. All right. You cannot draw a card. I'm probably just going to Pest Infestation for the max here. I kind of want to draw a land. How much damage do I take? I take 2. Yeah, it's not the scariest amount of damage. All right, let's blow that up. And then attack with the Halfling here. Land would have been 2 more insects, so that would have been nice. But Vindicate is also a pretty nice card. Is Abe going to counter this in some way? Force of Negation? I mean, he's splashing blue. We haven't seen it here, but he played against my team at round 1, of course, so I am aware. All right, let's bash for 1. I get my pests, and we get to next turn set up, I don't know, a Vindicate, also Deadly Dispute, sacking a pest token. That's cash money right there. I don't think I'm going to end up vindicating one of Abe's lands here. He's got a lot of spells in hand. It feels like it would be, I don't know. I mean, I guess having a lot of spells does make it so you kind of want to kill a land, but the problem is if I kill a land and then he just draws another one and I die to this like 3/3 flyer, I'll feel kind of dumb. I think I'm going to start with Lurrus here. Replay Hex Drinker. I'm going to take 3 once here. Yeah, I'm actually going to Deadly Dispute this pest token too. I kind of changed my mind midstream, but I haven't played a land this turn. Yeah, and it just felt like getting a land play when I have such a mana-intensive game plan here seems good. I mean, I need to keep this treasure for this Underworld Breach. That's my plan. All right, he's drawn an island. Can hit me for 3 and maybe kill the Lurrus. It's okay if Lurrus dies. Currently, I have enough action to play 1 spell out of my graveyard, but pretty soon about to be 2. Okay, there is the Adeline. You know, playing Adeline before attacks was actually kind of loose, because then you can't attack with the Guardian or you give me 3 life. It's kind of funny. What am I going to do now? I think I'm going to start leveling up Hex Drinker. And I'm probably going to make an attack here. I'll offer the trade. I'll swing with the Hex Drinker and see if he wants to trade something for it, because then I can just replay it with Lurrus. He's going to Swift Reconfiguration it. Okay. That is fine. So that makes it into a vehicle with crew 5, which, I mean, I could just level it up a bunch now. That seems actually kind of great. Because then the swift reconfiguration falls off. And then I'm at 15, so I'm not really that worried about dying here. So now I just have a 6/6 pro everything. All right. If he's got like a Council's Judgment or something, then I guess he milled a bunch of my turn, but I'm not too worried about that. Like, your attacks here don't really do a whole lot. Winds of Abandon on the Lurrus. All right, that's a start, I guess, to doing something. Into Luminarch Aspirant. Okay, we're going to have to cast some spells next turn. Because now you attack with everything. All right, let's go block, block. I'll take a bunch of damage. And then on my turn, I have a lot of mana. Tarn is nice too. Let's go. I'm going to Vindicate probably the Guardian of Girapur here. I could attack for 10 with a Celestial Colonnade plus Hex Drinker. That threatens another attack for 10, but that uses like all my mana. I don't have very many lands to get. Do I have any non-pain untapped lands? Oh, I have Taiga. Nice. Taiga's actually a great land to get there. Okay, so I could attack with Colonnade, but that doesn't sound amazing. What if I cast... The problem with casting Vindicate and Breach, that leaves me with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana afterwards. Play another Vindicate. Do I have white, black, white, black? Yeah, so I could play another Vindicate, and then I could play like Pest Infestation. Right, I could play Vindicate. Well, hold on. Vindicate, Vindicate. Oh, I'm actually one permanent short of playing another thing. Okay, I think I'm going to Vindicate the Guardian. Though actually, maybe I just do... If I animate the Colonnade attack, I still have a bunch of blockers left. Yeah, that seems fine. He's already used Winds of Abandon, which is like one of the primary ways to get a lot of creatures out of the blockers out of the way. All right, take 10. And then post-combat, Vindicate the Guardian. And now I have 3 blockers back, and I've got lethal with a flyer, plus Hex Drinker, and over 2 turns I just have lethal with Hex Drinker. Skull Clamp. That is making me happy that I went for like lethal play, because Skull Clamp does make draw a longer game a little bit less appealing for me. Okay, it's got to have... Okay, Elite Spellbinder. Does that do it? Let's see. I can play Mana Vault and make Colonnade a creature. I can play Breach. I think I have enough left to go Underworld Breach, Vindicate your Spellbinder, attack with Celestial Colonnade, which is really funny. And I just need to not block with any of my elves. Yeah, that's easy enough to do. Because I can go Mana Vault, animate Colonnade, plus tap the Colonnade, pay 4 for Breach because it got exiled, and then pay 3 for Vindicate. The colors weren't lining up as I was moving the mouse, but I think you kind of get the idea that I was kind of shortcutting that part. Underworld Breach is going to be a 9 mana Vindicate. Nice. Or 7 mana Vindicate, rather. Yeah, attack with everything. Clearly the right play. Pest token block the Bunnicorn. Delighted Halfling block the 1/1. I'll take 7, I guess. 4. Make that 5. Draw. Let's go Mana Vault. Underworld Breach. Vindicate your Spellbinder. Exiling Tarn. Yeah, 3 cards. And I guess you could have Daze. Daze would be annoying. But if he did have Daze, then I would cancel on the Colonnade plan. Oh, he does have Daze. Okay. Yeah, so I will cancel on the Colonnade plan. Still kill that. And now I think I go Pest Infestation on the Skull Clamp. And cast Pest Infestation for 4 here. Oh, wait, cancel. Pest Infestation on Skull Clamp and Mana Vault. And then cast it for 4 here. Or, well, 2 and 4 tokens. I'll leave Vindicate in the graveyard. Not that well, I guess it doesn't really matter because my Lurrus is gone and my Breach is about to be gone. And then I'll still send with the Hex Drinker. I think it's still fine. Because I have four blockers. He has to have tons of removal because the Luminarch's not even lethal. So he has to have 3 removal spells. That puts me to 8. I block the Bunnicorn and I take 6 or 7. So I guess White's removal spells probably don't involve me gaining a bunch of life, but okay. And Gavin has the Time Walk. Okay, oof. We got game 1. That was a tough one. Condemn definitely coming in here. Breach kind of earned its keep there. It lets me play a Vindicate and a Pest Infestation. I just think in a really long game, playing a Breach eventually is going to be pretty sweet. And Thopter Foundry probably isn't the best. I guess I could cut a land on the draw. That is probably fine. I'm still running kind of heavy on mana sources. All right. I could also cut Utopia Sprawl. Maybe I should cut Sprawl. I guess I don't know if he has Flicker Wisp, because Flicker Wisp can knock Sprawl off for free, which I don't love. Okay. Yeah, this looks pretty good, and Utopia Sprawl is actually a pretty big part of it. We get to go turn 1, Forest, Utopia Sprawl named Blue, and that kind of unlocks the rest of my hand. And I suppose I would rather have the Thopter Foundry in this hand than another Forest. I'm going to Utopia Sprawl, I think, named Blue. Pass the turn. I feel like casting the Lanarolf doesn't do that much for me, though. I suppose turn 1 Elf, turn 2 Sprawl off Elf is also fine. Let's go Colonnade, Mox, pass. Yeah, I should have just played turn 1 Elf, actually. I mean, this is still okay. Like, I'll get to memory lapse something if I want to. Figure of Destiny. Yeah, I will memory lapse that. I'm worried that's going to just get skull clamped right away. And I played my Mox so I don't get dazed here. He's got his own Mox. All right, Pest Infestation, Waiting Room. If I draw Pest Infestation, this game's pretty over. Though I guess he could have Daze or Spell Pierce. Who knows? Okay. JVP, huh? Start with a Preordain. Oh, let's get these both on the bottom. Good call. There's Pestorino. I am gonna play Elf and Jace. If you wanna play Figure of Destiny and Skull Clamp it, I think that's okay. I hope Abe cracks the Fiery Eyelet. That'd be kind of nice. Thinking about it, no, it does not. I would like to Pest Infestation and be able to pay for days. I also kind of didn't want to do it into open mana, though. I don't really think he's got a counter. Yeah, I'll take 5 here. And now you tap the Mox to clamp the figure. Play a Plains. And play something, maybe Elite Spellbinder. That would be a little annoying. Now he's going to equip Clamp and pass the turn. All right, well, I'm going to cast Pest Infestation, I guess, on Skull Clamp and the Mox. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I get to cast it again next turn with Jace. If he has Mana Leak or something like that. Miscalculation, any of those things. Daze does not do it. Oof. Big oof. And then I'll play Hex Drinker. I am going to loot with Jace, so yeah, I might as well loot now. I don't think that changes too much. Oh, Mana Vault. Interesting. Yeah, let's discard Thopter Foundry. And there's definitely a chance that I'm going to use Thopter Foundry to loot Mana Vault with Lurrus at some point here, but we might not get to that point because that Pest Infestation was dirty. Pest Infestation is so good. There's a reason that I took that card extremely high, and despite it being very off color at the time. Yeah, let's flip Jace or try to. I could discard a Watery Grave, yeah. I think I'm going to just cast Preordain for now. I highly suspect that Abe has Daze in hand, by the way. Oh, actually, hold on. Is it too late? It is too late. I actually should have, I think, kept the Caracas now that I think about it. Just because of, just to protect Lurrus. But so it goes. We'll reshuffle it. Maybe we'll draw it. Here, I think I'm going to get Underground Sea. Let's level up. Let's just level up the Hex Drinker. Level up Hex Drinker and level up Hex Drinker. And then I'm going to send, just going to send with all of these, I think. I guess this plays into the Wandering Emperor, but I haven't seen that card. And then I'm going to put Lurrus in hand after this. And I'll leave back Lotus Cobra to block the Bunnicorn if I need to. I also don't care about Jace dying because just going Lurrus recast Jace is a pretty good play next turn too. Well, I don't love it. If it's Otawara, I don't mind. No, Wandering Emperor is pretty annoying. All right. Oh, we're making a Samurai. That's odd. Oh, do it like that. Sure. Okay. And now, all right, well, in that case, we've got a different play to make here. I think you might actually regret the Wanderer play there, because now we're just going to level up Hex Drinker to max here, and hope that I don't get Winds of Abandon, I guess. Well, the thing about Winds of Abandon, though, is I would get to get a million lands into play, then replay Lurrus. So, all right. This worked out. Now, I'm going to lose my Jace. This looks like a Winds of Abandon. All right. This is actually going to be a pretty interesting game here. Oh, I only get 2 lands because I've already drawn a couple lands. That's unfortunate. Yeah, definitely could lose this now. I'm at 12, and I'm going to take 6. No, I'm going to take 4 here. Yeah, I was hoping he didn't have land wins. He did. Let's draw. Not going to untap that. Draw Marsh Flats. I could kill. I'm at 7. I think I have to put Lurrus into hand. Yeah. Play Lurrus. Because I held down control once, now it wants me to hold on control every single turn. Play Jace because I want to play Pest Infestation next turn for a lot. I'm not playing my land because I want to be able to discard it to Jace, I think. Okay. There's a lot I lose to now. The combination of Wandering Emperor into Winds of Abandon was a lot. All right. Yeah, I'm dead now. Damn. Wandering Emperor into Winds into Palace Jailer. Took me from winning to losing badly. That's okay. All right. I'm ready to battle. I think that maybe attacking with all the tokens wasn't necessary. I didn't know that about the Wandering Emperor, so I don't know if I'm supposed to play around it that much. Maybe I'm supposed to just make the Hex Drinker big. Though I guess attacking with the tokens didn't matter. I just got winsed. I don't think adding an extra basic because of wins is going to matter too much. I also don't think the Caracas would have saved me there, given how that game played out. But yeah, no, I like the Utopia Sprawl. I think I'll keep the Sprawl. All right, let's see how this does. All right, I would like to play first. I'd like to reveal a companion. All right, I will keep this hand. And I'm kind of thinking I go turn 1 Watery Grave Preordain. Again, not leaving up Stern Scolding on turn 1. The thing is about playing turn 1 Llanowar Elves doesn't really do too much for me. If I go turn 1 Llanowar Elves, then I go turn 2 Untapped Watery Grave Go. That's just so awkward. Let's just do this. Let's bin these both. I'm glad I did that. Okay. Then I could play, I hope he just goes land go. Oh, Mox. Mox, a little bit like that. All right, let's just play Elf. What is going on here? Why did we keep this hand? Are we going to crack the Fiery Islet? We just kept a Mox, no white hand, I guess. Yeah, we drew white immediately. But of course, I'm going to Stern Scolding any card that goes on the stack now, I think. Well, that I'm allowed to. Oh, Luminarch Aspirant, yeah. No thanks, no thanks. All right, draw. Oh, Knight's Whisper, nice. Let's go Knight's Whisper. That's a little less nice. Let's play Retrofitter. I'm going to play the Tarn because I want to crack this for, I think, a Zagoth Triome here. I don't need the red mana yet. Okay. Abe is a little stuck on white mana, is my guess. You wouldn't make that turn 1 play if you had any planes in your hand. We'll see. If he draws a second planes quickly and we draw bad stuff, we could be in trouble. Mentor is pretty annoying. I just hope to draw Vindicate, I suppose. No, because otherwise we're going to be in a little bit of a pickle here. Mentor is just going to go pretty wide. Oh, Bowmasters is nice. I think I go land go. I guess I can attack with the Elf. It can't threaten much, but I don't think it's I think it's basically free to attack with the Elf. I guess Daze is the concern here. We'll see. Because he blocks. I can't have Fallen Shinobi, which is unfortunate, because that would have been a good thing to bluff. Okay, we're sending in Llanowar Elves. You take 1. I'm gonna pass here. Yeah, I don't like my prospects against Mentor, but drawing Bowmasters was pretty nice. Because now he's gonna play a spell. It's gonna trigger the Mentor. Oh, Elite Spellbinder. Okay, that's not so bad. Let's go Bowmasters in response, kill the Spellbinder. And sure, you can Spellbinder to Deadly Dispute, that's fine. I'll cast it at some point. Island, okay. Alright, well, that worked out okay. I mean, as far as turns go, could be a lot worse. I don't really want to put Lurrus in hand quite yet. Let's just pass the turn, I think. Yeah. I'm probably going to end up deadly disputing away the Orc Army token. I don't feel a strong reason to do that now. Second Plains is kind of annoying because you know he's got probably all spells in hand. Okay. Cruiler Guard's not too bad. Let's see, what are we getting? Palace Jailer, I guess, would be the most likely outcome. And then I'm going to want a Retrofitter turn Servo into a Thopter shortly here. Well, actually, is Palace Jailer even good right now? I've got this Retrofitter Foundry making flyers. It feels like that would be a little bit of a gamble. Yeah, I guess I don't know what... You can't get Adeline. Got Selfless Spirit. Wow, okay. So maybe you already have Palace Jailer in hand and you want to use that to help protect the Monarch or something? I'm not sure. I'll sack the Orc Army. I'll draw 2 and make a treasure. Underworld Breach, okay. Sack Servo. Take my turn. Lotus Cobra, so I can get a lot of mana out of the deal. Yeah, I mean, that's probably worth doing. Marsh Flats, crack it. Guess I can get Underground Sea here. Green. And put Lurrus into my hand. And I don't need to play the Lurrus, I don't think. Play the Halfling. And pass the turn. Yeah, like I said, I'm not thrilled about this situation, but I'm doing some pretty good stuff over here. I guess we'll see. Okay. Interesting. That Mentor's been a lot less scary than it looked like. All right, so you've got a big adversary. Doesn't really open up the door to that many attacks, honestly. Yeah, that's fine if you want to attack with that. I'm just going to block with the Thopter token and make an idiot. Though, doing that means I have to tap the Retrofitter, which I think is probably... Yeah, it's fine. All right. Sack Thopter, make a 4/4. Can untap it, but it doesn't really do anything for me. Okay, now I'll take my turn. Oh, Condemn is actually kind of nice. Let's attack with the Construct here, I think. Yeah, sure. And I don't think I want to play Breach quite yet. Let's go Nurturing Peatland. Sack it to draw a card. Okay, I'm going to play my Lurrus even though I don't have anything to play off of Lurrus. Though actually I guess I should have probably tapped Delighted Halfling. I have Caracas to protect the Lurrus, and I have Memory Lapse though. I really shouldn't have tapped my Plains. I should have tapped a Watery Grave. Because now to use this Condemn, I actually have to use Caracas, which is kind of loose. Yeah, that's probably fine. I'll just take the Selfless Spirit damage again. I actually think that I want to try to set up Condemn on Intrepid Adversary during... that's fine too. During the middle of combat. Okay, let's make a Servo. And that's it. I think we just make the Servo. We take our turn. Thirst is kind of nice. Let's go Thirst. I don't have a lot of basics in my deck, but Reprieve. Okay. Sure. You get a Mentor token. Okay. Oh, and I get to ping something. Nice. I guess I just ping you to make a token. All right. And then I pass the turn here. And see what's up. So... I've got Memory Lapse, I've got Condemn up. So if I make a thing, I think here actually I'm just going to condemn this. I don't think I have the time to wait here. Let's just condemn that, and then sack the token. I could untap and I could sack again, and it would briefly expose Lurrus to an effect, but not by too much. Okay, so let's sack the servo, make a Thopter. I'm just going to do it, I think. Untap. Make a 4/4. It's just mana efficient to do this, and Retrofitter is going pretty hard here. Oh, that's kind of interesting too. Let's cast Thirst first. Draw 3. Discard Mana Vault and Verdant Catacombs. Just play Mana Vault immediately. Land. Add a blue, I guess, to play Jace. And pass the turn. And at some point, I'm going to be able to do something good. What is this? The Wandering Emperor. Okay. I'm actually going to let that resolve. I don't think I want to memory lapse that. You just draw it next turn. It's fine to just have that in play. You make a Samurai. And then on my turn, well, we'll see if he attacks. But with a Lurrus out, attacking is kind of hard. What am I trying to do? Trying to set up Underworld Breach with a bunch of Vindicates, I guess. It's kind of a funny play, but it actually seems like a pretty reasonable one. Okay, I think I make a 1/1 flyer here too, because I can go Servo, untap, tapping Mana Vault. Sack a Servo, make a 1/1 flyer. Now that Wandering Emperor is mine. Draw. I will not pay. I think I want to wait. Drawing Thopter Foundry would also be actually fantastic. Attack the Wandering Emperor. And I'm going to go ahead and Jace now, I think. Jace, I'll discard Talisman because I can just replay that. And now, do I want to Jace something? Yeah, I think I do. I'm going to cast Deadly Dispute out of my graveyard here. I'm going to cast Deadly Dispute. Sack the Mana Vault. I could have sacked the Bowmasters, but I don't think I need to do that. Now I'm going to play the Mana Vault, and I'm going to play a gigantic Pest Infestation very soon here. Actually, I could just do it now. No, let's just make a Servo. Let's wait a turn, and then we'll cast a big Pest Infestation with Mana Vault up, or Memory Lapse up. And then from there, we'll see. Skull Clamp. Okay, that I'm going to Memory Lapse, I think. Well, I've got Orcish Bowmaster out. There's actually kind of a limit to how much you can clamp, and then, in fact, you can't even clamp anything because of the Mentor. What you can do is you can put it on a Monk token if you want, and then end of turn, the Monk token. Well, no, I guess with the adversary, it's still not going to work out. You're attacking with a bunch of 4/4s, sure. And a Bunnycorn. And a Mentor, all right. We got a battle here. That's fine with me. I'll probably chump one. Like I'll chump the Bunnycorn. I'll trade off the constructs for the Samurai, I think. Okay, so let's untap. Let's go block like this, block like that. Wait, no, I want to block the Monk tokens. And Block like that, something like that. I'm at 9. I'm taking 8. No, I shouldn't just die. Let's block there too. Okay. That should be fine, I guess. And I'm sacking a servo. Okay, sack a servo. Make a construct. All right, I take 4. I'm at 5. A bunch of things die. And nothing can get skull clamped right now. Let's draw. Not untapping. Oh, Thopter Foundry is actually going to be excellent this game, though I don't think I need it right now. Let's go Pest Infestation on those two. And let's do 4. Pest Infestation those, make a million things, play a Bowmaster out of my graveyard, ping you, and I guess just pass the turn with Memory Lapse up. I could have attacked my Thopters, I guess. And then I've got Underworld Breach. I'm actually running pretty low on time. This was a pretty intense match, but I think we're going to be fine here. Let's make a 4/4. I mean, at some point, I'm going to find a Vindicate, and then the game's going to be really easy from there. So, okay, sack the Thopter, make another 4/4, untap. Don't pay for Mana Vault. Draw, that's a Flooded Strand. That's not really much for me. Thopter Foundry. Pay 1, sack Mana Vault. I didn't even use Jace last turn. Funny. Mana Vault. Plus Jace on that. And I guess I don't really need to attack here. Let's just pass. And then one more turn here. Oh, Esper Sentinel's kind of funny with Bowmasters. You can actually trigger it if you want. Make a servo. Untap. Sack the Thopter, make another 4/4. Draw. Next jet. Yeah, I'll pay the 1, sure. Oh, I have to pay 3? Yeah, I guess there's a big thing in play. All right, let's go Underworld Breach, because I have Lurrus, so I can play Breach later as well. Let's cast Preordain, exiling 3 lands. Bottom. I'm just going to bottom the Hex Drinker, Preordain, exiling Talisman, Condemn, Night's Whisper. Guess I don't even need to exile the thing. Bottom, draw. Okay, there's Vindicate. And let's go Lotus Cobra, add black, white 1. Vindicate the Intrepid Adversary. And then Vindicate the Regal Bunnicorn, black, white, and exile Preordain, Thirst, Condemn, whatever. And +1 on that, and then go to attacks. Yeah, we should be fine here. Attack with those 3, all of these attack. And then I've got Memory Lapse up. You don't really have anything else, and whew, what a match. This was an intense one, I'll tell you that much. But I think we got there with this Memory Lapse in hand for like a million years. Though I actually have set it so I can't even actually cast Memory Lapse here. Oh, so it goes. Breach goes away. If I get wins this turn, it's going to be really tilting. I actually don't think I would even lose to that. And boom, we are 2-0. Let's see how the team is doing. Alrighty, time for round 3. We're up 5-3, so we need 2 wins this round. Alright, I've companioned here. Oh man, this is really close. If that was a blue land, I would keep it. I don't think I'm supposed to keep that hand. This hand looks totally fine though. The Mandrill Man is playing sneak attack deck, I believe, of some kind. Let's go turn 1 Llanowar Elves, because I can't level up Hex Drinker all the way anyway, so let's just do that. And, oh no, Mandrill Man's that Academy, that artifact-based deck of some kind. Let's just go Hex Drinker, land, and just start putting in the reps on Hex Drinker here. Pass the turn. Let's see what you got. Staff of the Storyteller. All right, Pest Infestation is going to be a really big one to draw in this matchup, much like every matchup. Pest Infestation is just a really good card. All right, let's level up Hex Drinker. I could have put Lurrus into hand and not played the Talisman and still made Hex Drinker a 4/4, but I think I'm just going to do this. And if they kill Hex Drinker, then I'll deal with it. All right, Nettle Cyst will not do it. It'll give you another Staff of the Storyteller token, but that is totally fine. Oh, Stern Scolding. I don't know if that's actually going to be good here, but it can counter a Sigh, which is nice. All right, level up that 3 times. I'm going to leave up Stern Scolding, attack, and then I can get a Triome end of turn. Seems totally reasonable. Oh, no. Okay. I mean, Academy is pretty good there. Let's see what your play is here. I hope it's a Sigh. All right, we're drawing first with Staff. And then you're spending a bunch of mana. Mystic Forge with top and Academy. So that is good, but it's also not going to stop you from dying to Hex Drinker. And I'm just going to take 4 this turn. Or 5, I guess, because I need an elf back to block Nettle Cyst, because it could potentially be like a 20/20 next turn. Oh, okay. Let's actually not crack the fetch. Oh, really smart of me, because I don't want to die to equipped Nettle Cyst on the Spirit token. All right. What do you got? You're at 3 now, facing down a leveled up Hex Drinker. You have Academy and 1 mana draw a card. Obviously, that's pretty intense. And Saheeli, which I can't counter either. But I don't think this... I mean, the Saheeli top... Let's see, I can make a token. I can make a flying token if I need to with Retrofitter Foundry. I can spend 2 tap, 3 to untap, 1 tap, and that means that I can block even a Nettle Cyst equipped, because currently, yeah, you're not really going anywhere here. You're drawing cards with top, and that is all well and good, but you've already tapped your Academy, so unless you have a Candelabra to untap Academy, I don't think this is going to quite do it. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, so we're Mystic Forging and we're doing stuff, but it doesn't actually stop you from getting soloed by Hex Drinker, especially since Saheeli can make a second copy of Nettle Cyst, but then you still have to equip it, and you're also really far from Nettle Cyst being lethal. I mean, it's surprisingly close given where you started, but even with Saheeli top, 1 mana to put an artifact into play and draw a card, again, you would need Candelabra. Candelabra, untap Academy, we're talking a different ballgame, because now Academy would tap for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or something, and you could like work something out where you have 2 Nettle Cysts and they're equipped on different things, but the way things currently stand, not going to do it. You need a lot more than this. Hex Drinker. Hex Drinker's really good. Hex Drinker and Pest Infestation are both really good. Oh, we're going to make it into a Mystic Forge, tap to exile? Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, that looks like round one, or game one rather, and then honestly, this is just going to be a story of Pest Infestation more than anything else. If I throw out this Lurrus deck, I'll be pretty happy though. This deck's pretty sweet. This is a scrappy Lurrus deck. I will say that. Yeah, player Sensei's top. That's fine. Tap it to draw a card. That's also fine. Okay. 9 cards in hand. Who would win? 9 cards, 3 Nettle Cysts, or 1 Hexy Boy? Alright, Hex Drinker up a game. Don't want Condemn. Nah, I don't really want any of my sideboard cards either. At all. I don't even think Devoted Druid would be good. Like, it's not like the extra mana does much. Yeah, I want to draw Pest Infestation, Vindicate. I'm going to keep Stern Scolding in, even though it's not amazing. Orcish Bowmasters would also be pretty sick, so let's see if we can get there. I will choose this as my companion. That's a Bowmasters. We're keeping this one. Opponent's mulliganing. I get to go turn 1 Elf, turn 2 Bowmaster. Maybe, if I'm lucky, turn 2 Bowmaster plus Preordain. Llanowar Elves has... I kind of done enough work this game. I have reluctantly been dragged into playing these elves, and they're actually working out just fine. Turn 1 Ancient Tomb on a mold of 5. Okay. Well, I'll play turn 1 Elf. And then pass. Plains into Coalition Relic. Well, that's a pretty good... It's a pretty good one. All right. Mana Vault. I'm going to say go with Memory Lapse and Bowmasters up. Charge your Relic, I'm sure. And next turn... Yeah, I mean, I'll probably Memory Lapse here, unless it's a card draw spell. Sigh? Yeah, I will Memory Lapse Sigh. Because also that messes up your plans maybe with Coalition Relic. Who knows? Maybe the rest of your turn doesn't look as good anymore. Tapped Spar's Headquarters. Okay. And probably just wait if you have an artifact to play after Sigh hits the board. Unless this is like a prismatic ending or something. Oh, Staff of the Storyteller. Oh, wow, you're playing that? Okay. Let's draw. Wouldn't mind a land. Should have been a little bit more specific. This is just such an awkward turn. I'm just going to cast Preordain. Oh, Hex Drinker and Thirst, huh? Bottom. I'll top the Hex Drinker. That's fine. Hex Drinker. Level up. Level up. And I don't really want to tap Mana Vault to level it up. I can do that next turn if I want to. All right, you're going to play Sigh. I may be giving up 1 Bowmaster trigger off that Staff of the Storyteller, but I think that's okay. I just think hitting a swamp to getting to play more cards would have been awesome. Okay, Sigh and nothing else. Okay, so this goes there. Okay, let's go level it up. And I think I'm just going to attack for 4 here. And pass with mana up. Oh, we're chumping. I like it. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll put another counter on that and then pass. Because now I get to keep up Bowmasters, which I think will be pretty nice. It's kind of funny. Oh, you got to charge the Relic here. It's kind of funny. You got to... If I Bowmasters a Thopter and you sack it in response, you do... You trigger the Bowmasters again. But part of it is I just want a Bowmasters in play because Man Man's deck can go pretty hard. Like every artifact now, if his last card's an artifact, he gets to do a lot of stuff. Okay, no? Alright, well I'm going to play the Bowmasters now. I don't think I can afford to wait longer. I'm going to ping you. Okay. And then draw. Okay. If I draw a way to kill Sai, I would feel pretty good. I mean, I actually still feel pretty good about this game. Oh, now I draw the Flooded Strand. All right, let's just level up the Hex Drinker. 7 and 8. And attack. Just gonna attack Mandrill Man. It just feels like this is so likely to be lethal next turn. And I think I will Brainstorm here. What is this? Is this a Hole Breacher? Didn't know about that one. All right. Guess you get a bunch of treasures. And now I get to put 2 cards on top. I don't think I even want either of them. But that also put you to lethal with Hex Drinker. Don't know what outs you have, but we'll find out. Can't draw too many cards or the Orcish Bowmasters come for you too. So we're sacking 2 artifacts to draw a card here. That's going to be the start. I think I just pinged directly at the Mandrill Man here. I don't care about the Hex Drinker or the Hole Breacher really. Makes it so you can't cast Ancient Tomb. I think this is going to be pretty hard for him to get out of. We've got one more look at things before it becomes really tough. Karn? Don't think Karn's going to do it either. It's not like you can make a construct and then clone something into a construct and kill me or anything like that. Like, are you going to plus the Karn and then reveal the top 2? Sure. You can have a Plains, I guess. And Hex Drinker carries us right into a 3-0. You love to see it, and I believe that's going to give my team a pretty good shot at victory here. We'll check in, and we will find out, but I'll let Mandrill Man go through the dying throes here of trying to get away from Hex Drinker plus Orcish Bowmasters, and failing to do so. All right, well, we actually ended up getting there in somewhat dominating fashion. We were 5-3 going into the last round. You need 7 wins to take it down, and I won, Frog won, and Mac won, and I think Dan won, so we actually ended up kind of demolishing. Good job, team. But I want to talk about this deck, because besides going 3-0, this deck was actually kind of interesting. A bit of an object lesson in Lurrus decks, and also kind of finding a win condition, because here's the good things this deck had going for it. It had Mana Vault and Moxjet, not even like the best Mana Vault deck, though a very good Moxjet deck. When you have guaranteed to have companion mana to sink into, Mox is getting even better, not that they need help. Also had great mana. Marsh Flats, Flooded Strand, Scalding Tarn, Verdant Catacombs, 4 fetch lands, getting a triumph of my 3 main colors, plus 2 blue-black lands, a red-green land, a black-green land. No white lands, but that's okay. Colonnade also did some good work. I'm glad I took the Colonnade. And had a decent amount of like Preordain, Brainstorm, Jace, Thirst was decent, and had Bowmasters and Pest Infestation. This was just the MVP. It's actually did the most work of any card. Maybe Hex Drinker gets its own reward because it kind of soloed Mandrill. Like it just straight up did 40 damage that match. But what I wanted to talk about was the last 2 cards I added in, Thopter Foundry and Underworld Breach. And to some degree, Retrofitter also, because I took Retrofitter hoping to pick up one of the mana engines, like Cradle or Academy, didn't get there. Still was pretty decent, especially that one game against Abe on White Weenie. But I think the biggest thing I did with this deck and pool that maybe I think most people probably wouldn't have done is actually play both these cards. The Foundry was fine. I'm not going to say it was amazing, but I think the theory behind it, sacking Mana Vault or Talisman to replay with Lurrus, pretty reasonable, and it did combine with Retrofitter one game to make some 4/4s at the cost of some artifacts. But more interesting than that was the Breach, because the Breach was actually the most important card that one game in round 2 against White Weenie, where just played the whole game to eventually go Breach, Vindicate, Vindicate. And it ended up being Breach, Vindicate, Pest Infestation, but kind of the same thing. And in game 1 going, well, Breach, Vindicate is, I think, kind of a testament to knowing what your deck needs to close out a game. And when I looked at this deck, I'm like, wow, besides Hex Drinker and Pest Infestation and I guess Retrofitter, I'm going to be a little short on win conditions. And just looking at Breach as like a 2-mana play that lets me recast 2 or 3 spells from my graveyard, that's kind of how Breach was designed to be. That's the fair case for Breach. I know Breach is a kind of unfair card and it doesn't end up working that way, but you got to keep your mind open. It's kind of like an Underworld Breach that I've played. In some previous drafts, you might have seen like red-black, no combo, but you play Breach to play a Fatal Push and a Chain Lightning out of your graveyard or something along those lines. Just keep that possibility open, and I hope this did showcase the power of Lurrus. Lurrus is just such a strong card. You're not paying massive costs if you get it early enough. Of course, you do pay some costs. Like, I didn't get to play this Grist. There's some picks I would have made differently. But overall, despite the fact that we had half the Time Vault combo, half the Thopter Foundry combo, half the Breach combo, this deck still ended up 3-0, and it had some pretty good play to it. Deadly Dispute also worked out pretty nicely. So I think it's just kind of interesting when you make use of cards in ways that they don't normally see play. Like, no one ever plays Thopter without Sword, and rarely does Breach without Brain Freeze get played, but I think they both kind of made sense in this deck, and I was glad I played them. So, cool deck, cool games, very cool record. Thanks for watching. That'll do it for today. I appreciate you hanging out, and tomorrow we'll be back with another Cube Draft. See you then. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel, and you won't miss a single draft.